socials. Oh!
The best intro song has made a comeback.
Hello! Oh my god, people. Woo! Give it to me right here. Give it to me right here.
Okay,
Oh, that felt
calm
good.
down. Calm down.
That felt so
Welcome,
good. That felt
people.
right.
Welcome to the Trio of Positivity podcast.
I miss the guitar.
I do. The guitar will come back in some of the segments.
Yeah.
There you go. That's all you're getting. How do you stop it? There you go. Okay.
Maybe for the fantasy segment. People, welcome. You are with the Trio of Positivity. This is our podcast. Thank you for joining us today. Same old intro, same old voice, trying to bring some positivity into your life. Man, that was so good, Chris. Good
Thank you.
surprise.
I also have some other great news. But go do your social plug thingy. I don't want to disturb.
I'm your co-host,
yeah.
Boopen, joined as always by my boys, Chris and Miller.
Howdy.
Hey, what's up?
Howdy.
I don't know. I am jazzed. This will be a amazing show. I know. Quick social plug: we are under Facebook under Trio Positivity Podcast. At Twitter X, we are at Trio Positivity. We have a YouTube channel, Trio Positivity Podcast, and we have a blog that we pay for that we should use. TikTok, I wouldn't even say anything. Chris, what you got?
Our TikTok profile is back.
Yay!
I just happened to check, and it is completely empty. So
they finally finished the review. So China, it probably went all the way to the
China
top.
I think China said we're okay. That's
Okay,
what it
so
looks
went all the
like.
way to the president, the dictator. They're okay.
I don't know about the president.
Xi Jinping?
Maybe.
Is that right?
Maybe.
But like, I think what it was all this time they're like, "What are these idiots doing?" They were trying to figure it out, and they finally gave up. They're like, "We
Well,
can't."
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Well, when you put your age as 3 years old, like red flags pop up.
And they're swearing, Oh my god!
So I think there's a chance that we can possibly start using it.
Yeah, we're still not. It's fine, guys.
No, it's
Wow.
not. But listen, we've covered
got
just
it back.
about everything. I think the only thing I have left on my end is the website. That's the only thing I have as far as items that are pending.
Okay, well, the music is back. TikTok
Yep.
is back.
Maybe we'll get Spotify and Apple Podcast back.
I know. Maybe we'll
Maybe.
be on Spotify. What a day! I don't know. Christmas come early
I
over
don't
here.
know if I can handle that much.
That's too much, right? It's
Too
like
much.
we're so used to shit not working, and then when something works, it's like we forget everything else.
All right.
It's crazy.
Well, rolling that positivity into the reactions here, boys. Week 2 preseasons in the books. I don't know who to go with. Chris,
Go with Miller first. Go Boop in second. I will go last.
No, I will go last. Chris, you go second.
No,
Miller, you're up.
I'm going last. I'm going last.
Chris, this isn't about the Bears. This is overall reactions of the preseason. So it doesn't matter.
I'm still going to go last.
All right. Mine's bear related, but spoiler alert. Miller, go ahead.
Don't mind my sub pump in the back. We've got a lot of rain over here.
We can't hear it, so you're good.
The nervousness around the quote unquote best offense in the league, the Cincinnati Bengals, after the offensive line looked awful last night. That was a takeaway that I had. Obviously close to the heart with my fantasy team having Jamar Chase and getting those little bit of nerves going because we don't know if Joe Burrow is going to last very long, if at all, standing behind the offensive line. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in Cincinnati. Obviously, they had their struggles last year with probably one of the most prolific offenses, but worst defenses in the league. So we'll see what happens this year with them.
Yeah, like there's really cool clip online. I think he took forever to throw the ball, which we have very strong emotions on this podcast. But there was a play where it was just him and like 5. Was it Washington they were playing? Who were they playing, Miller?
Washington.
Yeah, so 5 Washington defenders, just him. Like his O line is nowhere to be found. It's pretty crazy shot right there. But sorry to bring it home. Mine's related to the Bears.
Fine, I'll go then.
Okay, go ahead.
Jesus.
Okay.
Quarterbacks in what Miller's touching. The Colts made a decision, which I think a lot of people were kind of somewhat surprised, not because of the choice that was made, but the fact that what's going to happen with their quote unquote star quarterback. Oh my god, I'm blinking on his name.
Anthony
Anthony
Richardson.
Richardson.
Thank you. I don't know why I was blinking. Same with criticism
Well-
from the Jets. Like the quarterback situation with the Jets seems to be a little bit questionable too.
What?
And then the Giant, you don't follow the NFL like I do.
No, I don't
my
follow
friend.
Justin Fields like you do.
Listen, I
Okay,
follow
continue,
the top,
and then we can dive into these. Go ahead.
I follow the top tier quarterbacks in the league. Okay.
That are about to get benched, apparently.
Well, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I think the Giants too. There's a team like there's teams that have to make decisions on the quarterback side, and the Colts are kind of like the first to kind of solidify what would be their starting like
That's not
QB
true.
aspect.
Browns
Well,
did
they
it.
The Browns,
Browns
were
did
first.
it. Well, but of the major battles that are out there,
Browns were first.
did you really think the Browns were going to go away from Flacco not starting?
It just doesn't matter. I
Miller
don't think
put-
Justin
Miller-
Fields.
Miller
I
put
don't.
money. Miller put money on it this year.
I don't
too.
think the
How much did
Jets
he
are going to
put?
have
No.
Justin Fields.
He made some decisions on his team based at Flacco starting, so he needed that. He knew that was happening.
Well,
Okay, that was horrible, Chris, but it's fine. I'll bring it back for you. So first
He
of
hasn't
all,
even finished his fucking thing.
that's fine. It's fine. It's typical Miller behavior. It's okay.
Joe Flacco is the starter in Cleveland. Pretty obvious. He didn't play any of the preseason games. Obviously, he have 2 rookies. The rumors around that are they're possibly going to be keeping 4 quarterbacks on the roster, which would be pretty crazy, if you ask me.
Deshaun
Deshaun
Watson?
doesn't count.
Doesn't count? Okay.
He's not technically on the roster.
Got
Going to Chris, Indianapolis, they made the decision to go with Daniel Jones, which is fairly surprising. I don't know if you guys saw it, but recently, within the last few hours, the agent from Anthony Richardson came out and said they don't know where his future is and if they can trust the organization. So I don't know what your guys' opinion on the situation are, but I was kind of taken back by Daniel Jones being the starter. Obviously, me personally, due to the Anthony Richardson's inconsistencies, I thought that Daniel Jones was going to be the better quarterback. But when you've invested so much, wasn't Richardson the 3rd overall pick
Yeah, he was.
a few years ago?
Fourth.
Third
Yeah,
or
pretty
4th
high.
or something, or 5th or something along top 5.
Pretty high, yeah.
Regardless, when you've invested that much, it's kind of weird to completely put him aside and go with Daniel Jones. I feel like, Daniel Jones has won a playoff game technically, but I don't think he's going to be anything special. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, like
Would you say that he's better than Richardson though?
I would say he's more consistent than Richardson. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where I'm kind of leaning towards. It does remind me a lot of what the Bears kind of were trying to do with previous quarterbacks, where it's like, you have your franchise supposedly with your first round picks, and then all of a sudden you kind of don't know where to go. But Richardson has come in with some baggage where he tapped out. There's been a lot of criticism of his play. Certain decisions. So it almost does feel like they want to protect him if they are not willing to cut him during the final cuts. It doesn't benefit to cut them, but you kind of don't know the route that they're going, which
They're
is
not going to
yeah.
cut him.
yeah, like
But
kinda-
the thing,
I don't want to give them.
have to though.
No, they don't. I was thinking, okay.
this is his
I
3rd
was
year,
slightly- I
so they
was
have to make a
slightly
decision on his 5th round at the end of the season.
Yeah,
Right.
but you could just like they did with Fields, like they
So-
easily could just cut
Couple
ties
of
and call it a day.
Yeah.
Couple of
Yeah.
things. I think the coaching staff, maybe not the GM and stuff, are probably trying to save their behind. Let's be honest, right? This year, if there's anything there, they're probably trying to do that. But the other positive I wanted to see was remember Bryce Young was benched last year for Dalton middle of the season, and it was 3 games or something, and Bryce came back and had a nice little lift at the end of the year. I like maybe this is too positive on my end. I was thinking that's what they were trying to do with bringing Daniel Jones in some with some decent money. I think over 10 million a year. I was thinking it was a little jolt to Richardson being like, "Hey, you're not unquestionable. Number one, you have to fight for your job. This is who your competition is." They made it clear. To be honest, neither of them blew anyone away this preseason, right? The fact that Daniel Jones was like maybe slightly more accurate, slightly more consistent is probably what got him the job. But maybe I'm looking at like silver linings here. But I thought it was a positive step for Richardson to um, um take the have him there and do all that. But
Uh, didn't they already do that? Like he's been with them for like 2 years, and didn't they already do like the benching thing with over the last few years?
who was the other quarterback? I don't know. I don't remember them having. He was hurt or he didn't play. I don't know. I don't know
Last
who
year
else.
they had Flacco,
Did it have Flacco last year? I don't
and
remember
then
that.
the year before that they had Carson Wentz. I don't know. Scott or John would know. But
But
I thought they already benched him. But the one thing with Richardson, the two things that stick out are one, his injury history. He can't stay on the field. Ever since the first year he came out, he was getting hurt because he's reckless with his body. And number two is he just hasn't had the reps. I saw something today that it's surprisingly he's younger than a lot of quarterbacks in this league. I think he's like 24 years old. I think he may be younger than like Bo Nix and some other rookies that came out last year. He's only had 1,900 reps, which is not a lot. And that's in pro and college. So he's very low. He's like lower than Trubisky was when he came in, and Trubisky got nothing. Like he hasn't played a lot of football. So
well, see, you say that, and then it's like it's how you develop for the future. I think when we saw Trubisky, the first the first 2 years of Trubisky, it was like you see a trend that could possibly take us upward.
Mm-hmm.
With the Colts, I think you saw sparks, but you never saw like an upward trend. You kind of saw like a spike and then a down spike, a spike and then a down spike. Where with Trubisky, you kind of saw the trend going up and then stalled and then straight down. So I think what the Colts are trying to do is they're trying to say, like, listen, because this is what I said about cutting. Either you cut your losses, you trade them out, you do what you can, recover what you can, or you basically tell him, all right, listen, you you got another year under your belt. There's no pressure. We need to see improvement, but there's no pressure on winning. There's no pressure on anything. You just have to develop. If they go that route, maybe. But the issue is injuries. You can never, predict them. And
Yeah.
you're going to end up using him. Or if you go on a slump and he's not the answer, you got to cut ties. Like there's not much you can do.
Couple of things. He's definitely the ceiling. That's why he was drafted, right? He raises the whole team with his rushing and everything. I think Daniel Jones is definitely the floor play, in my opinion. Like that's why you take Richardson is because he lifts the whole team up. One positive thing I would say, and hopefully we end this on this note, is um he had right things to say after the benching. He said what's good for the team. This might be the right move. Blah 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 blah. Which shows more maturity than I've seen him in the past. Again, that could mean nothing. Team speak, but like
It's team
this is
speak.
the guy who
yeah,
like
his agent literally just came out with the statement. I mean, come
When
on.
your agent doesn't know what your future holds, that's a problem.
I mean,
Like,
there's a lot of people with a lot of money on the line
don't give
with
him
him.
credit for what he said when realistically
But
the agent said
if
probably
this
what he
was the
needed to say.
if this was the
Poopin, it's
guy
like
that like
saying,
took off play because he was tired, I feel like he would have said something reckless. He didn't say something reckless. I'm giving credit for doing what he was supposed
Yeah,
to
he
do.
let his agent take the hit.
yeah, which he should. Like, let's be honest. It's it's the agent that has to do all that stuff. But
Okay.
what I'm trying to say is when your agent, the guy that is supposed to help guide you in certain scenarios, has no idea what the team is going to do with you, and they're supposed to be having talks, one conversation could have made it very easy. They could have easily said, yeah, hey, listen, we're starting Jones, but he doesn't have to worry about it. We want him to develop. They didn't even say that.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened behind closed doors.
Oh my God, we
Okay.
speculate on
Okay.
everything, and now you
Okay,
want to say that? Jesus.
people, before we become a Colts podcast, let me bring it back home to the Bears. And this is a good transition into our next segment, which is our preseason week 2 game, right? So, all I wanted to say was relax. Take a long breath. for the
That's mostly
viewers,
Miller.
for the
It's mostly
people,
Miller.
just to show you
Get
people
the
how.
fuck out of here, Buzzkill.
Can I fucking finish? Can you stop?
No, not if you're gonna bring that bullshit.
Chris, can you mute him? Can I fucking talk?
You
Jesus Christ.
shouldn't say anything that was already quoted by Aaron Rodgers.
Bitch, shut up.
That's like a sin on the Chicago
Okay,
Bears.
just to give people some insight in the back end, the title of this episode is Super Bowl 2026? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
And who
Okay.
wrote it? Just
They
put
don't
it out
need
there.
they don't need to see the behind the scenes because it's
I'm
going to be
good.
the title of the
Shut
episode.
the fuck up. Can I fucking talk? Okay, so all I want to say is like I have not been Caleb hater. I support the guy. I feel like I like there was some good things to build on. The moves we made. I'm not a hater. Okay, and what he did like this week, which we'll talk about in a minute, there was some good steps, good strides. But what I want to say is like it was one series against a second tier defense. I don't want people to like fucking think playoffs and like Super Bowls. I want people to think we are rebuilding, we're doing it, and it's gonna be some good things and bad things. That's all I want to say.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
to take a page
I'm-
out of Ben's book. Do you know anything about quarterbacking? Are you an idiot? Like, okay, no one cares about his fucking stats. It's how he looked in the game. It's how the offense looked. It doesn't matter what string of defense is on the field. When you're going into a drop back and you get rid of that ball in 2 seconds smoothly to the correct read in the correct spot, that's what matters. It doesn't matter that they're playing the third string defense. It's how the operation looked.
it does, but okay. Again, I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater. I've been giving him props when he deserved it. So I'm not coming
The
from a
fact
place
that he
of like.
completely changed from what he did last year. Last year he was holding on
What
to the
happened
ball.
in the second drive then?
What happened in the second drive?
He got 5 yards.
Perfect. He put a ball perfectly to Rome that dropped it. I don't know what you want from him. If he throws it inside, it's intercepted. He put the ball outside towards the sideline of Rome, and Rome dropped it. Okay, if you want to blame it on him, fine. You can blame it on Caleb. I don't know what to tell you. The bottom line is,
saying it was one
what
drive.
What were you looking for in this game? Is you were looking for somebody that seemed to have control of the offense, someone where we weren't getting false start, delay of game penalties like we've been talking about for the last few weeks,
which we overcame, by the way. Again, thank you.
We did get a false start.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
We had a penalty.
The first team?
Yeah, I think so.
That was holding.
Was it? Oh, it was a penalty. I don't know.
I mean, it's a penalty, but I thought it was a false start.
That could be. I don't remember. But you're not getting penalties and has full control of the offense and getting rid of the football. That's what you wanted to see. That's exactly what you fucking saw. The fact that he drove the ball down the field and scored a touchdown was mucho gusto, Super Bowl bound. Chicago Bears, here we come. The other thing that pisses me off. The other thing that pisses me off, if he would have come out, thrown an interception, gone Justin Fields numbers, everybody would have been up in arms. The city would have been burning down. Everybody would have been freaking out.
And that's
so the fact that people like you are now saying relax after he did what he did on Sunday.
Not to me. Not
so
to me.
Annoying.
You don't do that to me. I have not been a hater.
Excited,
bro. I have not been a hater. I've given him props when he deserves. You cannot do that to me. Chris might have done differently, but I have never been like.
Hey, don't throw my name out when I haven't said shit yet. Okay, don't throw my name out there. But go ahead and finish what you want to say.
No, that's what it was. I was just like, I'm excited for the year, probably more than I was before. But let's fucking dial it back. I want to see in the regular season game. I want to see like us build. I want to see us be competitive. I've always said this. I feel like, but that's what I wanted to say. The hype is a little overblown. Without
again, it's not. You're too focused on the performance overall. It's not based on the numbers and the fact that they got a touchdown drive. The hype is based on how the operation was for him as a quarterback, and that was where the strides were made, and that's where the improvement was made.
Can we really say strides were made on one drive though?
It looked good. Like I don't know
the only drive that. Okay, so it's the only thing that we've seen in the Ben Johnson offense,
right?
So
but
you've
pointed out on Twitter.
You're going to continue to focus on what he did last year.
No, see, if you let me finish, you'll know what I was going to tell you. So You've posted on our group chat multiple times about how certain people have reacted to Caleb's play during training camp that he's been up and down. And then he has a game like this, and it's supposed to like silence the criticizers, when in reality, we've seen this before. It's just a different type of play. The one thing I will say that he has improved is not holding on to the ball from what I saw. That's the only thing I can say with genuine criticism, is that he didn't hold on to the ball. There was a blown screen. What did he do? Threw it on the floor.
Mhm.
That is probably his greatest play that I've seen him do. Because that is an improvement over someone that has a blown play and
He had
thinks
6 fucking turnovers last year. Calm
hold
fucking
on.
down.
All right, let me finish while you take your baby juice serum there. Last year, he would have tried to make a play out of something, which he's done before, which we would always say, oh, that's an X factor. Like we like that of him.
When you
Like-
get sacked 80 times, Chris, I'll probably do the same thing. But anyway, if you're okay with this is a good transition into our next segment where we'll talk
Well,
about
I have
there's-
one more point about this whole Caleb Williams thing.
come back.
Is we always overhype preseason, and this was the first time we saw him. If he played like this in week 1 of preseason and week 2 of preseason, I would agree with Miller 100%. But
Hey,
because
stay tuned. He will play week 3.
And that's where I want to see how consistent this is. If it's a consistency thing with him. That's it.
Stay tuned. All right. This is a good transition, I think, into our next segment, which was the Bears preseason week 2 game. We played the Buffalo Bills following joint practice on Friday. We whipped them 38-0. The offense looked good, scored some touchdowns, but defense, God, like they had 1 yard in their first, like when our first string off defense was out there. They had 47 total yards, I think, first half. Like just incredible numbers throughout. Defense probably gets a tip of the hat, but Bears won 38-0.
So you're going to give the defense a tip of the hat for the first string going against backup. But you're not going to give Caleb Williams
Hey,
a tip of
Miller,
the hat.
if you interrupt people, they may be saying some things and you speak before they do, so you can't finish.
I mean, he kind of has a point, Boopin, but
I mean, that was the third time I had to fucking call him out on this episode, and it's like
Fucking
50.
hypocrisy in this fucking
Oh my
podcast
god.
right now.
Maybe I have to be better and say, get off his dick, and I'm on his side. I like the guy.
that's
but
what I was
geez.
trying to figure out. Like, are we really saying that this one drive was enough?
All right, Chris. I'm sorry, Artie Miller. You can have Caleb's performance. Tell us what we missed.
I don't understand what one drive isn't enough. Of course it's not enough. But you guys are not acknowledging the elephant in the room of what was last year, and you're holding your head based on what he did last year when he had 3 offensive coordinators and 2 head coaches in his rookie year. It was turmoil, straight turmoil. He then goes and gets probably one of, if not the best, offensive minds in football to be his head coach. And what happens? The first and only drive that we see, he drives it in almost 100 yards for a touchdown. And like I said, it's not all based on the performance, although he had pinpoint accuracy, perfect balls every time.
See, you can't have it both ways. You cannot say it's not based on that and say pinpoint accuracy.
Not only that, but he just totally changed as he acted as a quarterback, like Chris pointed out. It wasn't holding the ball. It wasn't Supermaning all the time. I think there was one play, but he was getting the ball out.
But that was within the play.
On target to the correct receiver. That's what he did.
It looked good.
When you have an offensive mind like that, and when you have a talent that is Caleb Williams, he was, after all, the number 1 overall pick. Why are you guys dwelling on what happened last year instead of focusing on why is it so surprising?
I can answer that.
That's what I want to know.
I can answer that. We saw what happened last year. That's the difference. Even with all the changes, we saw that if we're gonna say, because we all can agree Caleb has the talent. I think there's no question if he is not talented. He has the talent.
Wow, that was good to hear you say that, Chris. Go on.
He has the talent. But in typical Chicago Bears function. We bring quarterbacks here to die. So
Okay,
my thing is
ESPN.
no, but my thing is if this one drive is enough to carry us to preseason in week 1, okay, we can have it. But it's not to say that that's going to be the future of this team. We always say, "Oh my God, we're the kings of the offseason. We played so good in the preseason, and then we turned to shit." Like we've had this before.
It's more than that, Miller. I think we, as
I
a
don't think we've
podcast,
ever seen a drive that
hang on,
looked
hang on,
that
hang on.
good.
As
Yes,
a
we have.
podcast, at least for me, we are positive. We are positive about the Bears. We always like to think we'll be better, like have a shot of playoffs and wild card and all that stuff. I think as a podcast we are positive. I think like what I'm harping on is I'm not letting the past hold me back, but I'm also not letting me fly away. I'm like being tethered to the ground by the past. That was like painful, both for Caleb and for us. Because of that, because of the history that this Christian shared, really promising quarterbacks have come here and not done much. All of that is kind of like holding me back from like flying away into like Super Bowl and playoff land. That's what I'm saying. And it was a hell
Oh,
of a drive. It was like
that's
a really
bullshit.
promising drive. Really good coaching staff. Really, I see all that. I still want to say I'm not flying away yet. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, well, too bad you didn't get tickets to San Francisco like I did. The prices are going to go up. So
Did you really
have fun
get?
flying there by
Did you
yourself.
really? Okay, send us a photo of the ticket. I don't believe you.
Of course he
Yeah,
didn't. He's married with kids. He's not spending money
fucking
Okay.
shit. I'm going with Sydney Sweeney. She's sitting right next to me.
Hey,
with her
What
with her
kind of
Miller.
question
jeans.
was that?
Hey, Miller. Close,
With the
close,
cheese.
close your ears. Close your
Yeah.
ears for this. The first drive, we did have 97 yards and a touchdown. The second drive that the first team offense played, we went 1 for 4 with 9 yards. So, he overall had 100 some yards in the two series he played. Not too
Well, they had
shabby.
more than that.
I
They
think
had it was a 20-yard drive, bro.
he had total 107 yards, 103
Yeah,
yards.
doesn't count the rushing yards from their running back.
Okay, so we're finally at the second drive of this conversation, and now we can kind of talk a little bit about the first half of this offense, given that we got to see the first line starters in the second. How do you guys feel so far about the play calling in this preseason, in these two preseason games?
I think we have a talking point, don't we, Miller, about Bajent? I think that's going to come up in a minute.
I
But
don't know. I can't tell you the last time I saw a team put up. Okay, scratch it. The Bears put up 500 plus yards in a fucking game.
It's fucking preseason, bro.
You
True.
just asked me to judge how the
Yeah.
offense went in preseason, and now you're telling me it's preseason. What do you want me to say?
You're literally saying like this was the game for the ages, but like there's different players. We're not going to see the same players.
Chris, you've just asked me.
I'm genuinely asking
Talk
about
to
the
me
play
about
calling.
the offense and the play calling.
The play
Okay.
calling.
I've never seen play calling from the Chicago Bears generate 500 plus yards of offense.
Okay, that sounds better.
Fucking stupid ass, bro. You guys need
That
to
sounds a lot
fucking
better.
calm your asses.
Hey! Stop with the you guys, okay? I am not his
No,
level.
you're both.
I'm somewhere in the middle. But talk about Bajan. This is not the first half, Chris. It's the total game. But he went 13 of 22 for 196 yards and a touchdown. Pete's QBR ratings was 103.6, which is highest of his career.
Fox loved him, bro.
Yeah, so we love him too. Like preseason, a
Can
lot
we
of
get
backup
back to
can play.
Bajent? I want to talk about Bajent.
I am talking about Bajan.
We're literally talking
Can we
about
get back to him later?
Oh, okay. I
yes.
asked you if we had a segment on him, and you
And I didn't comment because I didn't want to talk about it. I like the play calling. It's exciting.
Today. I can't with him today.
He's hitting all the different receivers. He used both tight ends for the first team. Kmet and Loveland got in. Again, I think the big question mark with this team is how DJ is going to get used. We'll see. You have exciting things going on with our rookie wide receiver Burden. It's just excitement around the team. The offense looks smooth, and you know what? I'm almost already ready to guarantee that I'm going to win my bet against Ben about the offense having more yards than the punter. So, well, here we go. But no, overall, I think the play calling's it's fun, it's exciting, and it's games like this that you really understand the difference between a competent offense and a shitty offense that you guys continue to hold your hat to last year. But hey, some people look forward and others look back.
He says that, and yet he criticizes everything that's happened in the past, but that's fine. I like the play call. Oh, Boopin, your thoughts on the play calling so far?
No, similarly, I've said last week too, like better separation. I saw a lot of that, like like good quarterback play overall from both quarterbacks. Very very impressive. Like Luth Burden doing the dirty work, doing the block, scoring the touchdown. Lots of positive. Like again, I didn't know the 500 yards. I probably should have looked it up, but like overall, it looked fluid. It was going. They were aggressive. Ben Johnson didn't have a smile on his face even when he was up like 38-0, which put a
That was
smile
hilarious.
which put a smile to my face. So he's got that Dan Campbell. It's like, let's put 50 on him. Like his face. Oh man, dude. Like I loved every bit of the game. It was an amazing game for the Bears.
Um, I feel like it's probably more balanced than what I recall. Looking at the stats from last game, against the Bills, they were 9 and 16 on third downs. The rushing attempts was 43. The passing attempts was 39. So there's some balance in between there. The one thing I noticed, and I don't know if you guys caught that during the whole game, they're coming to the line like a lot faster. So like I haven't really seen the play clock come down when it comes to like last year we would see like they would rush to the line and there's like 7 seconds left or something like that. I haven't seen anything in the first two preseason games where it seems like the clock is an issue. So there's improvement on that. I know in Hard Knocks they talked a little bit about that. Um, Making sure that he understands the play call, he gets it in time and stuff like that. I would love to have seen Hard Knocks this season with them, just to see what they're doing. But yeah, I'm okay with it so far. I'm not to the deep throating that Miller's
Yeah,
currently
seriously.
doing.
I'm like, Miller, get a room. I am like ashamed right now. But we have to talk about the other side of the ball, even
No,
though
we
the
don't. So, to Chris's point, I think a lot of this is by design. I think, like Ben Johnson has said in multiple press conferences, the amount of stuff that they threw at Caleb, I think it was mountainous. I think it was a lot. I think it was a lot of shit, a lot of bullshit. And I think those are a lot of the reasons why he has struggled early on in this offense and in practice and stuff like that, because it's so much. And I think the reason why he had so much success in this game is because I think it went from we're going to throw the whole fucking mountain at you to, well, now we're just going to give you the 8 plays that you've practiced 50 billion times. And so he was easily able to execute the offense. And I'm hoping that that's kind of a signal of what's going to happen in the future. They're just trying to prepare him for, here's the overall the offense. This is all you have to learn. But once we get to game day, it's going to be a lot simpler, easier for you to manage and enable you to move forward
And
with a little
remember,
more
we
success.
talked about it last week where we were like, he didn't play week 1, but they had him out there for like what 90 plus snaps or something like that.
yeah.
And
Yes,
we were like, man, I don't know if he would really get that many snaps, right? And then you look at the stats from week 2 and you see what was it, 39 passing attempts and 43 rushing attempts, if someone can do quick maths.
That's not even, well,
It's not
that's
even
all you're
close.
talking about overall.
But it's
That's like 76.
no,
No,
it's
80,
82.
82.
It's 82. So the fact that like we were like, there's no fucking way that he's gonna be able to do anything like that, and then we're kind of getting close to that number. It's like, oh, okay, I guess there's a method to the madness then.
Yeah. I did. Oh, like this maybe quote speeds again to you guys, but again, to you, they asked Caleb, say, "Hey, great performance," and he was like, "Yeah, like I was doing a lot in practice. A lot of things were not going my way. This was a step in the right direction, but as they say, one step forward, two step back. I'm sure there will be like days when I struggle a little bit. So like he's also looking that growth mindset. He's also talking that, but again, you guys met his coach speak again, but I like that too. What he said after the game. Um,
We
I
can move on now.
I know. Do we want to talk about defense, left tackle, running back? We spent a lot of time on this. I don't know how much time more we want to talk
Well,
about
let's
this.
talk about the two big defensive performances that we had. One was Andrew Billings, obviously the big man in the middle, but the second one was Austin Booker, who we talked about last week. He had a sack in this game. He did have a really bad penalty, but he is currently tied for first for most sacks in the first two preseasons. So, yeah, he made a splash last preseason, but let's hope he's made the next step, and let's hope that he becomes an impact player on this defense. But overall, it was a good performance all around. Whenever you can shut out a team, it's impressive to say the least. And then obviously the other elephant in the room here, if you will, is the left tackle competition. And like Boopins pointed out on our text chat, and I don't remember if it was last week, it's probably settled at this point. It looks like Braxton Jones is going to be the left tackle, who is the guy that we've had the previous few years. Now, obviously, it could be predicted, but the concern that I have is I hate to go down this road because Ben's going to eat it up. But did Poles fuck up another pick with our drafting of what's his name?
Trapillo?
Trapillo,
No, I think so. Trapillo,
Trapillo is now the backup to our right tackle position.
yeah, looks like
Ozzy
Trapillo
Trapillo.
definitely has a higher ceiling. It seems, and he just needs to
Higher
get
ceiling where?
like right tackle, which is natural position, but maybe he could be the swing tackle at left as well. Um, the problem I have seen in reports is he has like Ben Johnson's playbook is like a lot of fast play, and then that's where he has to get used to the pace of the game a little bit more. And to Jones's credit, looks like he was really coming back from that injury and really took him some time to get back and look better because initially in the camp reports he was not looking great. So it was a combination of that, Trapillo being solid average play, and Jones is looking bad, but now Jones is probably stabled. He started with the first unit, right? Like didn't give up, maybe gave up one pressure, like was solid the rest of the game. So it was his game. But Trapillo, right tackle, natural fit, looks like he can start there if we need him, but he might be our swing tackle,
But
I think, for
are
this
you
game.
really going to give Ryan Poles credit for drafting a right tackle when we already had Darnell Wright, who we wasted a 10th round pick on 2 years ago? Like, to me, this is not a good sign.
This goes back to the conversation we had last week where we talked about how much input Ben Johnson is having on the draft. Like, it's a new offense. You're going to have a new coach and you're going to have a new way of how they're going to bring in players.
Yeah,
Like
I
that's bound to happen.
Okay, I understand that.
if
I
I can
understand
give
that.
him credit, like usually, and maybe like not top 10, whatever he was. How high was he? Was he late first round? Trapillo, second
Who?
round.
He was
Trapillo.
second round.
Okay, so usually what good teams do is like they load up on these talents, like and then like they work out a year, 2 years out. That's what good teams do. So I'm not trying to give him credit for this pick. It's too early to say. A second round pick. I don't know what like. Yes, there's some second, third rounders starting in the league, but I don't know what the expectation is for the second round. They don't. You don't
Second
expect them
round
to.
pick is the expectation is you're starting.
No.
I don't know. Not on the
I
No.
just
offensive line. I don't think so.
It's
and
depending on the need of the team. Like you can't make that assumption.
for an offensive lineman, it's pretty good assumption.
Did we okay, so let me flip it on you then. Us picking a tight end first, is he expected to start?
You have to understand. I mean, yes, first rounders, of course, are expected to start. Second
No, they're
rounders are
not.
pretty much 100%. If you don't have a first rounder that starts, it's a fail. My thing is Ozzy
So
Trapillo
then
was the right tackle in college. Ryan Poles drafted Darnell Wright 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. He's going to be coming up on I think this is his third year. If you draft somebody, you don't draft them to replace Darnell Wright. I'm sorry. And Boopin, your theory may be correct, but I don't think that's correct. Because you're not going to be drafting another right tackle to replace your right tackle when you don't have a left tackle. So I
did
think
we
they
draft the
drafted
tight
Ozzy
end to
Trapillo.
replace our tight end?
I think they drafted Ozzy Trapillo to be a left tackle. And
Okay,
I
that's great.
think
Answer my
he
question. Did
failed.
we draft the tight end to replace a tight end?
Yes.
Probably. I think
Then
the
you
outside
answered your
end
own
is
question then.
outside end is like
That is an
making
irrelevant question.
15
No,
million,
because if
whatever.
if you
So
have
you're
that same
saying that
mindset
he
of a
drafted
first,
him? Okay, so let me ask you this: if he drafted him to replace Darnell Wright, why did he start on the left tackle?
I think tackle like Miller or like Boopin was saying, there's a lot of tackles that always seem to switch between left and right
But
or
he
seeing where
is
they
a
fit.
right tackle in college,
Understood,
and
but
they
they
started him at left tackle.
that's great. I understand that, but we always seem to do that. Same with guards.
Okay.
You'll have a
Well,
right guard that will start
I
well,
left
think
guard.
Ben, since you're going to be our only listener, I think I could agree with you, and I think this is turning out to be a very concerning pick from Ryan Poles. These two don't believe so.
again, like there's two different things: drafting for need and drafting for the future. And like drafting for need is when you're desperate. That's what you want to
We
do.
are.
Yes.
We're pretty
Good
desperate.
teams, good teams like the Chiefs and the Eagles, they don't like, and the Ravens. Like usually they don't draft. What do we need now? They're like, okay, who's owed money? Who would we have to pay next year? That's who they draft. It's too early to say. Is what I'm saying.
We just reloaded the offensive line and had 4 left tackles competing for the left tackle position. Why are you acting like the left tackle isn't a problem?
We have a very solid starter. We have one. We got him in the 5th round. He's paid. We have him. I don't
No,
know.
he's
Like,
not. This is his last season.
is it that season? So maybe you see left tackle people moving from right to left all the time. Why are you making
And
it
they
Yes.
like
just
he's the?
tried it. They
I
just
know
tried it,
it's
and
his
now they're moving
first.
him back
It's
because
his
he sucked.
fucking year. First fucking year. Give him some time. He's a 2nd round pick, not a 1st round pick. Your expectations are way
Oh
too
my
high.
god, he was like,
No, I guess okay. So just to all right, let's dial it back a bit, and then we got to get into fantasy because we're pushing. This is going to be a 2-hour episode.
it's fine.
My thought process with Miller of him saying, "Did we screw up a pick?" That's where I'm not 100% sold on yet.
How can you say like 3
No,
months
but hold
in?
on, From that mentality, because what Miller's saying is, did Poles mess up the pick? That's what Miller's asking. For me, I'm in the position of we see the position changes all the time.
Mhm.
We see players go back and forth, and we see some players get drafted and then they'll play somewhere else. Like we see just about everything. The
Because the
only thing I
Bears'
will
offensive
say,
line sucks. That's
the
why
Bears
we see
offensive
it.
line has sucked for multiple years though.
That's why we've seen those things. They've never
Right.
worked out.
Right. And so when I asked last episode, like how much input will Ben Johnson have into the draft, and you're like, oh, he'll have a lot of input because this, it's a new offense and blah blah blah. It's like, all right, this was the first draft. Maybe they're doing something different.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and Chiefs literally right now, I think are trying to install a new left tackle, if I remember correctly. Like, good teams do it all the time. It's just they like fucking. Our guard
Yeah,
was
but they
fucking
probably
playing.
drafted a left tackle to play left tackle, not a right tackle
I
to
just
then
said they are
go play
trying.
left tackle.
They just said they have someone's moving position. I literally just said that. They are
Yeah,
literally
and
doing it.
I just don't understand. And then we'll end it with this. I just don't understand how we're gonna say that we were drafting a tight end to replace a tight end when we paid a tight end, but we're not making the same comparison of the tackle position. Like, why can't the same comparison be made?
And
Because Cole Kmet has 1 year of guarantees left this year, and Darnell Wright has probably 2 or 3 years left on this team. That's why.
two, like fifth is probably team options or 1 year really, right?
This is his 4th year. I think this is his 3rd
Or,
year.
He's saying 1+1, so like
So
going into
third
four,
year this
third year
year. So
going into
this
4.
year, next year,
Yep,
and then they
one
have the
one
and then
5th
after.
year.
fifth
So
option.
3 years. That's
Okay.
why.
I don't know the answer. Like, I try
And
to look
first
up
of all,
quickly,
whatever.
like how do 2nd rounds usually start? What's the hit rate? I couldn't get any answers from Google, so we'll take that offline. But I don't know. We spent a
Left
lot of
tackles are
time.
usually first round. Right tackles, guards, and centers are usually second and third.
Okay, so we got a 2nd round.
Starters or fillers?
Starters.
Interesting.
Fillers are usually 4th, 5th, and 6th, and 7th. Okay, moving on. Even though Chris doesn't want to.
Miller, you say
Injuries.
you're driving this bus.
There was a few bad injuries during this game, and we really don't have too much information on any of it. Terrell Smith is our cornerback. Obviously, we currently have injuries to Jalen Johnson. We don't know the status there. It didn't look good. It looked like it's probably something knee related. We don't have any news on that. That's concerning because I think he was our number 3 in the cornerback room. not good there. And then Austin Booker did come up with an injury towards the end of that game. So it'll be interesting to see what happened there, as he's obviously been our standout this defense. Other than that, just quickly talking about Tyson Bagent. Obviously, he's played really well this preseason, last week, and now this week. He's really balled out. He does have some starting experience. He went 2-2 with Justin Fields. I believe this is his last year with the Bears. What are your guys' thoughts on the future of Tyson Bagent? Do you think he should stick around? Do you think we should try to flip him? Or do you think we should try to solidify him as a backup quarterback? Because one thing before you answer, my concern is I feel like he is a motivated motherfucker, and I don't know if he's going to want to settle for a role in this offense where he knows he's not going to see the field.
So let's start with his quote again. Coach speak. He says, "If everything goes well, this is it. I'll be watching a lot of football this year. 18 will go out there and do his thing. So this means the world to me," is what he said. So just judging off of that, again, coach speak, team speak. He's saying the right thing. Would love to keep him. It's like very interesting. Like, do you think he can be a starter somewhere? His arm, like, has the first game we saw reminded him of, like, his arm is really not there. Yes, he did really well this game, but he has some flaws, right? He was not even a D1 quarterback. So do you think he'll go and start somewhere? I don't think so. Yes, it could be if he lands in the right place, but there's like legit first round quarterbacks that are being bent. So he may have some team vying for him, maybe for a backup job, but I think you just make him, give him a role here. He probably feels at home and stays here at a discounted, like, slightly more than what he's making right now. But a discounted
A
deal would be
lot
the
more.
best.
He'll probably make like 10 million. I would argue that he's probably a better solution than the Browns and Indy off the top of my head. Probably better solution. Maybe Jackson Dart in the Giants is a better option, but and dare I say it, the Jets. I mean, there's just a few teams right off the top of my head that I think he's better than the current starter, but I think he might look to want to compete for a job. I don't think anybody is going to hand him the starting role, but I think he might want to compete where he sees the writing on the wall here, where he's not going to compete. I hope we sign him for like pretty good money for a backup. Maybe not top dollar, but you got to give him some. So 3 years, 33 million or 30 million or something like that. Give him some good money.
I don't think this is the right market for him to try to compete. He's under Ben Johnson. He could probably get one more year out of it and maybe try to compete elsewhere next year if he feels like there's more opportunity. I don't think the market fits for him right now.
I mean, winning cures all, right? Maybe we win some games, he gets the bug and sticks around. Is probably our best case scenario. But yeah, he signed a 3-year
Well,
nothing deal.
we could get
2
him on a
million.
good contract, and then that'll raise his stock, like for draft. If we were to trade him or something like that, if he has a good contract behind him, I know that we can kind of push a narrative on the picks that we would want. But I just for him to want to go and compete elsewhere where he can still learn with Ben Johnson and still kind of just get better, I think it'll make him a better
Ben's
target
staying
next
here
year.
for 5 years, hopefully. But yes,
But like how much more learning you're going to do? I see your point with Ben Johnson, but he's already been in the league for 4 years. Like at some point he's going to want to get, if he really believes, like I'm taking the mindset
I
if
don't
he
think he's in
believes
the
that
league
he
for
thinks he
4
can
years.
fit in this league.
He signed a
This will be his 4th year.
He signed a 3-year, $2.7 million deal, and he's on a last
Well,
year.
maybe it was 3. I guess he was an undrafted free agent. So
Yeah, he was.
So
I understand
I
understand that thought process, but at the same time, it's like you have to put yourself in that mindset of you see all the quarterbacks that are out there. Where do you fit? And it's like I don't see him being a 1A, 2A type player in another team right now. He's playing great, but I mean, is it enough to say, like, you threw the Jets? Is it enough to overtake Fields as a starter? No, you're better off doing that next year, depending on how the record goes. Maybe Indy as a competition, but if it's Daniel Jones's job to lose, like, will they really go back up? They'll probably draft another quarterback. So you're going to go against
That's fair.
another rookie. My best bet would be to treat it like a couple years ago, how the Patriots treated
Garoppolo
Garoppolo,
and
is
Brissett. Yeah.
give him a good contract and then let him ball out during these preseason games so that you get your
No,
draft pick up.
Garoppolo took him to the playoffs,
But
didn't he?
Garoppolo, what I'm saying though is he had
Because
hype
that was
before he took over for Brady. He had hype behind that. Not a
minimal.
lot, but he had enough to warrant it. And then he played.
He got his hype when Brady went down with, I
Right.
believe, the torn
But he had some
ACL,
hype
and he
still.
led them to like
But he
9
had
wins.
some
He
hype
had a good
behind
point.
that. Yeah, he had not a lot as
I don't
much
know.
as he would have in the beginning of that injury.
I don't know. We've
But-
been talking about Tyson Bagent for a while, and he's done nothing but impress me. And now I think he played 2 years ago, his rookie year with Fields, and now it's been 2 years since then, and he's looking pretty good. I hope we keep him because I think he's a good compliment for a backup, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
If you want to keep the quarterback room together, I could see it being a deal to just keep everyone happy kind of thing.
I would like to line him up with Caleb, right?
The thing is though, is that if the Bears have a great year and Bagent has an amazing preseason and then an amazing training camp preseason next year, your value goes up and you're gonna have to deal him. Like,
your value is not going to go up.
Like the backups don't get traded. Like guys like Kirk Cousins. Like I know
they
he's
have to
getting
hit the
paid.
field during the
Right.
season in order
Yeah.
to have
Yeah.
any value.
I don't. Well, I guess for quarterbacks, I think you might have a point. I just feel like
The only option
I'm
would
of
be
the
if our
minds-
OC, if our like quarterback coach or OC goes somewhere, he may get brought there. That's his best case scenario.
But
But
the OC's probably not going anywhere. Okay, let's get into fantasy.
all right, lots of Bears talk, but it was good. We haven't had that much positivity coming from them in a while, so it was good to engage in some good talks. Not all positive, like the name of the show. But let's talk fantasy. Like just like last time, we'll take a look at the running backs and tight end tiers. Just spout out some names for you to keep an eye out for the drafts. Let's start with the running backs. I'll probably name like top 24 or so. And these are tiered up again just for your um, like easy understanding. The top tier is elite running backs, in my opinion. These are like early first round picks. Bijan Robinson from Atlanta is going top overall for the most part. Jameer Gibbs with Detroit. Saquon Barkley is up there. And Christian McCaffrey, this might be a controversial pick. But those four, I think, are the elite running back tiers this year. But most of these picks are going before pick 10. Like you're lucky if you get Christian McCaffrey at the end of first round because of some injury concerns, but they're going pretty early. But that's the top tier of running backs available. Right underneath them, these are the high end running back ones. They're usually late first, early second, depending on how your people draft. These would include Derrick Henry from Baltimore, Aston Genty from Vegas. That's called calm down a little bit. He was going like top 10. But like looks like it's like drifting into late first, early second now. Bucky Irving with Tampa Bay, Devon A. Chain. Look out for that. There may be some injury on his end.
It's got a calf.
Jonathan Taylor with Indy and Josh Jacobs from Green Bay would be like the second tier. Again, late first, early second, maybe even like late second here. Any questions, concerns there, boys, before we drop into the next three tiers?
I don't think Josh Jacobs deserves to be in the second tier. And on top of that, I have a hard time. I'm very surprised by your Derrick Henry spot. You love Derrick Henry. Maybe it's just because you gave up on him in our league and it burned you. But I'm surprised that Derrick Henry isn't in the elite spot. I know his age is concerning, but he's defeated it his whole career, and that offense isn't going to stop. So I think unless he gets injured, which you're not really betting on when you make these tiers, I think he's probably an elite company.
Yeah, he gets dinged a tiny bit. Like these are standard rankings. If it's any kind of PPR, right, he gets dinged a little bit. But no, fair argument.
I think you saved yourself when you labeled it late first, early second for Derrick Henry. That's why I'm not too upset about it. Bucky Irving, for me, it's kind of a toss up.
Damn, he won you the league if you had him last year.
Yeah, but the toss up in the sense of like people are probably going to draft him over maybe McCaffrey in some places.
Yeah,
I don't think
you're
McCaffrey.
not going to do that.
I think McCaffrey's probably going to go down.
No, I disagree with that completely.
You think so?
McCaffrey is a full. I mean, you have your injury concerns with him, obviously, but
Yeah,
that's
that's the only reason
concerns
I'm
you have.
saying that.
The bottom line is, if he's healthy for 17 games, he's the overall number one, probably by a landslide.
Like
I mean, Bucky Irving, yes, he had a good end of the season,
Yep.
but you have to remember you still have Rashad White on that team, and you still have another running back on that team as well.
And a team that used both running backs a lot.
Yeah. Both the same argument for Josh and Christian McCaffrey. They're probably the only healthy running back in their whole stable. Not saying they're not going to bring in new people, but like,
But Josh isn't as much of a catcher as Christian is. Come on.
true. He again.
Yeah.
He was the bell cow last year. Jesus, you should
And let's
see
all
some of his
remember, do you
carries.
remember the last time that Josh Jacobs had a good season? What happened?
We're not going to talk about that yet.
He went from the number one overall to like
I
20th.
I mean,
he had a horrible season.
they made him pay on the tag, and he got fat, and there was a lot.
I
Of
get
things
it.
going
I
on.
get it. But
Anyway,
Can I ask you guys though, because you get normally this is mostly snake draft and keepers are kind of we kind of don't discuss it. Is McCaffrey still a keeper?
he wasn't in our league.
it depends on the definition of a keeper, Chris. Like your league's definition of a keeper is you just get to keep any player on your team. If you're keeping any player on your team, Christian McCaffrey is a keeper.
Okay,
100%.
That's the mindset that I'm in. Where if you can label a player a keeper, especially running backs, then I think that's a first round pick no matter what.
The bottom line is when it comes to the 49ers, they have extreme running back concerns and they have extreme wide receiver concerns. Right now, they basically have two healthy individuals, and that's Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle. So they're going to get a lot of work.
Exactly.
And if and he's still a stud. I mean, 2 years ago, he was like the best running back in football. So
I mean, realistically, Chris, I know we are saying lots of big names, but you'll probably have one of these guys on your. If you have a Bijan, you probably have Christian McCaffrey, or if you have a Christian McCaffrey, you probably won't have Saquon, right? So, yes, looking at this list, Christian McCaffrey may like stand out, but on your team, if you have one of these running backs, Christian McCaffrey is absolutely a keeper. That's the answer to your question, I think.
Right. No, and like I said, I know that for some of the other leagues where you pay the player, I forgot what it's called.
Auction.
People will drive up prices and stuff like that. So Snake 12 is usually the right format. And from some of the mocks that I've seen, I have seen McCaffrey go second round.
Yeah,
he shouldn't.
There's lots of variants. Like early on, he was probably going much early, like quicker too. But like, I think like it'll probably end up like it'll probably like balance out, and he'll probably be like late first, is my opinion. But the third tier is high ceiling. Chase Brown with the Cincinnati, Kyron Williams with the Rams, James Cook with Buffalo, Kenneth Walker with Seattle. Like young-ish players, like proven players. They've done it before. Lots of promise. Kenneth Walker, especially some injury concern, but Jesus, if he hits, like you are happy you have him in your team. Tier 4 potential stars, high upside. Alvin Kamara, I know, lots of baggage there. Chuba Hubbard with the Carolina. Omarion Hampton with the Chargers there. Gotta keep an eye out on all these new rookies. I had to familiarize myself with some of these names. He's a brand new rookie, but looks like he will have the lion's share of the carries. Najee Harris is supposed to be his backup, but like, don't think he's gonna do much. The last tier 6, is mostly committee backs. So
tier 5.
Sorry, tier 5. My bad. Thank you. Tier 5 is committee backs, some deeper sleepers. Denver, really good situation, but there's probably two different names for you to monitor: R.J. Harvey and J.K. Dobbins. Caleb Johnson and Jalen Warren are both in the run for Pittsburgh. Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson are in play for New England, and DeAndre Swift, the sole running back, the only running back we need in Chicago. They all like kind of round up the top 5 tiers of the running backs this year in fantasy, in my opinion. I'm gonna hop on to tight ends next, but
many issues with that. No, you're not. Okay, so first of all, you forgot James Conner. Probably deserves to be mentioned.
Probably tier 4.
Tier 6 is awful. RJ Harvey is probably the route to go with Denver. J.K. Dobbins, it appears, is going to take the backup role. Did you skip tier 5? Is that what you did on this list?
Someone's not paying attention.
No, I am, but just he went from round 3 or 4 with potential starters to round 6 to 8. Where's 5? Because Trayvon Henderson and Ramondre
I want to make sure you're paying
Stevenson-
attention. You passed.
Trayvon Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson shouldn't be named in the same sentence. The Pittsburgh running backs both suck. David Montgomery's not on this list. Breece Hall isn't on this list. Aaron Jones isn't on this list. There's a lot of players that aren't on this list, so I'm wondering what the fuck did you do?
Good, Bill. I want to make sure you guys are paying attention. Tier 5 is missing James Conner, Adam on there. That's the entire tier 5.
Guys, tier 5. We're talking about. Oh, sorry, Boopin. This is my spot, right? This is where you wanted me to come in. Tier 5, guys. Potential starters, running back 2s, potential. We have James Conner from Arizona. Should see a bounce back. We have David Montgomery, who's in a high-powered rushing offense in Detroit. Breece Hall, there's a lot of question marks going on what's going on with the New York Jets, but he should still get a lot of dump downs from Justin Fields because we know he doesn't throw the ball past 10 yards. And then finally, Aaron Jones from the Minnesota Vikings. Keep your eye on them. Tier 5. There you go. You're looking at around 5, maybe early 6 with those guys. Right. Got you, Boo.
Thanks, bro. All right. Tight ends. Let's hop on there quickly.
Oh, one thing. I'm sorry. This is bad. I get it. One thing I want to mention before we leave the running backs is the Washington Commanders team. We've just got a lot of news in regards to Brian Robinson Jr. He was tabbed as the starting running back for the Washington Commanders. He is now, I think he asked to get traded, but they are actively trying to trade Brian Robinson Jr. He is probably on his way out from that team. So keep in mind the second string there is going to be Austin Eckler. So when you are drafting, stay away from Brian Robinson unless you see news. Focus on Austin Eckler. He could be a huge sleeper for your team. There's also a few other guys on that team that may hit. But Austin Eckler is the guy to have in Washington. Keep that in mind moving forward.
Thank you, Miller, for doing all my homework for me. Tight ends. Hopefully, I got this list correct. It's a shorter list, so hopefully,
probably not.
The top tier, the elite game changers are Brock Bowers from the Vegas, Trey McBride from Arizona, and George Kittle from San Francisco. Most of these teams have limited patch casters. These people are like PPR monsters. They'll get the catches, yards, plenty. Touchdowns are coming, but not as much. So, but again, you don't have to worry about them. Plug him, draft him. You're good for the year. In this tier, the second one is solid starters with upside. This includes Sam Laporta from Detroit, Travis Kelce from Kansas City. He probably got bumped up a little bit high with the Rashi Rice uncertainty. T.J. Hawkinson from Minnesota is up here again. To be completely honest with, hang on. To be completely honest with you, after the top tier of tight ends, it's basically free for all. But Miller, what do you got?
The one person to keep an eye on for everybody that's doing snake drafts right now is George Kittle. In a lot of places, he is sneaking into the 4th round. And as I just mentioned, the San Francisco Niners are having issues with wide receivers and running backs being healthy. George Kittle is going to get a lot of work. So if you can get him in the 4th, you need to pick him up immediately. Bowers and McBride, you're taking a risk because they're looking at late 2nd, early 3rd. So you're going to have to take a risk with them. But George Kittle seems to have found his way to the 4th. I don't know if he's still there. But if you can get him in the 4th, snag him immediately. Other than that, it's a good list.
Tier 3, good option with some uncertainty. Mark Andrews with Baltimore. They have another tight end that they like to use sometimes. David Njoku with Cleveland. That's rising up the boards after the Joe Flacco news. Evan Ingram moved teams. He's with Denver now. Bo Nix gets another option we're hoping that that does better for him fantasy wise than last season. The last tier for the top 12 tight ends would be potential breakouts, deep league options. Tucker Craft, Green Bay. Lots of people are high on him. Um, he had an injury riddled season last season, but when he was on the field, he had a good connection with Jordan Love. Tyler Warren with Indy Colts. Again, uncertainty in quarterback, lots of pass catchers there, but Warren has been one consistent name that's been good in the camp so far, and our own Colson Loveland. Um, like unclear between him and Komet was he want to tight end one, tight end two, but they like Miller was saying they both played and they both look good in the preseason game. So someone to keep an eye on. If you're drafting, if you're like kind of punting or like drafting late for your tight ends.
Yeah. So one thing I would say, if you're looking for a PPR, I would focus on within these group. Look at David Njoku and Evan Ingram. Both of them should catch a lot of balls. Evan Ingram has historically, obviously, he has his injury concerns. Potential breakouts, good list there. Tucker Craft probably leads the way there, probably a little more consistent than the two rookies. Tyler Warren, you don't know. He's going to go as far as Daniel Jones can carry him, and Colston Loveland's going to, we don't know what this offense is going to be. But outside of that, the one person that I'm very disappointed that you didn't mention, dude, come on, man. You're not even going to give some Kyle Pitts love? Let's go!
Some people were hurt last year by him. Hurt real
Who
bad.
hasn't been? Who hasn't been hurt by Kyle Pitts? But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Penix says that he's going to get the ball a lot. So who knows?
Like they did say the Falcons were like basically created to score points. That's how the team's created. So definitely a good shout out there. But if you're
you
if
can
you're
get these guys late. You can get them late.
if you have a strong heart, draft him. We can skip over the injury news. There were like nothing. We touched the big ones. There's not much to go last year. We'll probably do a more thorough one next week, but there's hopefully less to talk about the Bears next week. But let's talk
Hopefully,
about
there's more to talk about the Bears.
let's talk about Bears. Let's talk about more Bears. This week we play at Kansas City on Friday night, 7:20. Another primetime game for us. Um, Interesting enough, Andy Reid said starters would play for him in the final preseason game, which has never been the case. Patrick Mahomes played week 1, so he didn't play in week 2, including a lot of starters, and they are playing in week 3. So that's interesting. Our coach Ben Johnson also said he would play starters. Neither coach was clear about how long they would play, but that was interesting. But yeah, that just want to set that up for you guys. What are you looking for in the third preseason game? Any expectations?
Chris, you haven't talked in a while. You can talk.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have no expectations for week 3. I'm more interested on what's going to happen with the roster cuts and stuff like that. I think it's really just going to depend on how we continue to see the offense. I'm comfortable with what we saw in week 2. That's enough to get me into the regular season. So I think it's a Friday night game too.
Yeah, Friday night, 7:20.
Yeah.
Friday
Can't
night
wait to hear
prime time.
next week when Caleb throws an interception and he's all on his ass. Fucking
Listen,
shit. I'm fucking
there's
full of shit.
there's certain things that you just have to expect.
Hey, just like
I know,
you
I know how this
expect-
game works.
Just like you expect the second round O lineman to start, he expects his quarterback to be perfect.
No, I expect a second round O lineman drafted to be the left tackle to perform better than he did. Going into expectations, this game, like we talked about earlier, let's see a smooth operation. Let's see Caleb getting the ball out. It's probably not going to look as good as it did this last week, let's be honest. But we want to see him getting the ball out, crisp, decisive, not taking sacks, no delay of game penalties, smooth operation, the whole 9 yards. I guess it would be 2 series again, probably. I wish he would play more. I do. But Ben Johnson said he just wants to get these guys experience in a road situation. So that's kind of why they are going to be playing, to kind of get them ready for a road environment, go through the 9 yards bullshit. So we'll see what happens. Who knows? I mean, if they come out and gunslinging again against the ones next week, I might have my shirt off. Let's be real, baby.
Um, neither of you like. I mean, Miller, you hit this, but week 3 preseason, the last week of preseason started starting. Like that's not the standard, right? Like, is that something we are doing differently this year? Any thoughts there before we wrap up?
I don't think there is a standard, to be honest. I think the
Oh, shut
standard.
the fuck up.
You're not even letting me finish, dude.
Oh, do you know how it feels
Oh,
now?
look at that. Now he knows how we felt the whole fucking episode.
Chris,
No,
go ahead, please.
I actually have good points. You guys don't. So like when it came, keep in mind this is what the fourth, fifth season of this schedule. So before this schedule, we had what 60 years of the same fucking shit about that. Probably a little shorter than that, but whatever. But it was very consistent. The first game, no starters played. Second game's a little bit played. Third game's pretty much a half plus played. And then the fourth game, all starters sat. That's what they did. All the teams did it. I heard Dave Wannstedt talk about this earlier today. That's why I'm so sharp on point, even though I'm a glass of whiskey in. But like right now, like we've only had a handful of seasons where these guys have experimented with 3 games. So I don't think there is a right way throughout the league. And I think everybody's trying to figure out what works and what doesn't to best get their people ready. So I think the way Ben Johnson did it, I'm not the hugest fan. I would have loved to see Caleb in that first game as well and kind of get 2 series each game to get comfortable in this offense. But obviously that's not going to happen. But I don't think the third game is comparative to that fourth game because you've got to remember after this third game, they have pretty much 2 weeks until they're playing again. So that's a long break to not play football, especially if you play them in week 2 and not in week 3.
Yeah, like I think I sort of got at a point. No, I think it's interesting to see, um, because it's what 15 days to kick off. I think they would just want to make sure that are sharp. They're probably working on very specific things. Is what my thing was. Um, Not the full answer to our question, Miller, but on average, about 33% of the players drafted in the second round in the NFL draft develop into solid NFL starters over their career. Is what the Google had to say. I asked specifically about O line, D line, and their second round success rate is seems to be unclear, but they define success as being starters in some point in their career. So more research to go into that, but just want to give you a preview of my research.
You realize that like the first round's like 50%, right?
Is it really? Wow.
It's
I
not very
thought,
good.
but you said like if you're first round, you're starting. So I
You
assume it was
should
like
be a starter.
100%.
If you're not a starter, you're a bust.
All right,
If you're
people.
first round pick and you're not a starter, you're a bust.
Okay. On that positive note, Chris, cue the music.
Yes, sir.
People, thank you for listening on this beautiful day where I had to like quash your hopes for the Super Bowl. I'm sorry about that. I'm still positive about Caleb, I promise you. I just don't want you to float that high just yet. But we hope that you'll hit and like and subscribe and give us feedback because we love you. And it's good night.
We are currently in the market for 2 podcast hosts. Thank you.